Lights up!
Welcome to another episode of Lights Up, Putney Theatre Company's very own podcast, where we talk to cast members, members of the theatre, all things on stage and backstage.
On the cusp of the Dick Whittington Panto, here's an edited interview with cast and crew, courtesy of the lovely Riverside Radio.
Now, I am joined in the studio by the Putney Theatre Company. We have Cait, we have Tim, who plays a rat, and Lyndall, who's a henchman. And also, best to mention that Tim is an old pal of the station and used to have the show after mine. Can you remember? All those years ago, Tim.
I know, dim distant past.
I know. So it's so nice to have you in the studio. And I do say that, but I do expect full chaos to reign, as usual, whenever the Putney Theatre Company seems to come in.
Oh, don't worry. We've been left unsupervised, which is very dangerous.
So how are things? So tell us about, what is the panto that you're putting on this year?
Dick Whittington.
And tell us your parts in this show.
Well, I play also another one of King Rat's henchmen. So I play Officer Tail.
Yeah.
Tim, you play
King Rat.
And Lyndall.
Officer Snout.
Ooh,
Yes,
both
my
ends.
hench rats.
Hench rats. That's much better than henchmen. I like that, yes.
And how are you finding, well, basically being Tim's minions?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we are dealing with a diva, aren't we, Lyndall, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not quite so enthusiastic.
It's a lot of japes, as you can imagine, for those who know Tim. But Tim is also actually one of the writers from the writing team.
Oh, yeah.
So we're very lucky to have an incredibly talented group of writers at Putney.
And me,
And Tim. So he's been one of the four writers for our script, and then all the music is original as well, composed by another member called Simon.
Brilliant.
Hart, who is just a genius. So we were having a lot of fun, a lot of japes, and because it's called Dick Whittington,
we can imagine.
Can you imagine?
There's lots of Whittington puns.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Of course. So how did you come up with writing this? Do you get just four people together, and then is it like, with the Monty Python crew, two people go off in one corner, two people go in another corner?
No, we... three of us, my wife Lizzie, Simon and I, were part of the Panto writing team a few years back. We did Cinderella and Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
And then we roped in another erstwhile stalwart of Wandsworth Radio. It's not Wandsworth Radio anymore, Riverside Radio. Sorry.
Timothy.
I'm showing my age there, as it were.
Language, Timothy.
Kirsty used to co-host a show with me.
Yes.
And she was one of the co-writers for the Panto this year.
Oh, really? From afar?
From afar, yeah. So what we did was we would get together sort of roughly once a week over Zoom and have a bit of a chit-chat and then go away and write independently, which broadly speaking meant that my wife did an awful lot of the work and then occasionally asked me if I could think of a word or a gag here and there. And
then ignore it.
And then suggested that I really ought to pull my weight and write a scene. And then we'd come back again, read through it, have a bit of a laugh, suggest that maybe we want to tweak this out.
How long's this process taken? Did you start like a year ago?
No, this year was surprisingly efficient, I feel, because the ones that we did in the past seemed to drag out for quite a long time, but we worked on this for less than 2 months. Is that right?
Well, Barney and I became ADs in July, and I'm pretty sure we approached you guys probably over the summer, maybe not even then, maybe September. Let's say September, and gave you basically about a month to write it, because that's the hard taskmasters we are.
Sometimes, you get the best stuff when you're under a bit of pressure. Look at Diamonds.
Yes. I do. I feel like it took around about 2 months from sort of first conversation to what was, what we felt was relatively comfortably a final-ish draft. I mean, the whole thing, has been subject to tweaks and edits and augmentations throughout the rehearsal process as well, as is quite right and proper
Yeah.
when people are bringing their own personality to the show and finding their characters and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think we did it with a reasonable degree of efficiency, surprisingly enough.
Now, playing King Rat and his henchman, King Rat's the big baddie, so that's quite fun, isn't it? I was talking about in a previous interview where being the baddie, you come out and people just yell at you and it's all angry and there's booing. And normal life, if someone did that to you, you would just curl up into a little ball and hide in a room for days and days. But on Panto, you're just like, ooh,
Yes,
this is sucker to my soul.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be actually tremendously disappointing if they don't boo and hiss. I'll be doing something wrong.
They're like, hooray! It's Tim!
Well, it's actually quite funny because the directors and the cast who are not on stage at the time have started doing it now. So every time we come on, it's like, boo, hiss. You know, Paul Snout and Tell aren't the brightest, are they?
No, they're not.
So you're the kind of knockabout too.
Can you tell?
No.
We have a lot of fun being
do.
very, very silly.
Yes, we're having a lot of fun. But
I should also add that Lyndall is choreographing the whole shebang as well.
Oh, wow.
Co-choreographing, yeah.
So is there going to be a big kick line and everything?
well,
Have to wait and see, Sean. No spoilers here, people.
I'm hoping the whole 42nd Street going on.
well, yeah, come and see.
Well, I think that's basically the vision.
Yes.
And obviously that'll be what's happening, isn't it?
Indeed,
After
yes.
6 more weeks of rehearsing.
yes.
Fosse, eat your heart out.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun thinking of, kind of silly, comedic choreography, hopefully. Hopefully we've succeeded.
And Lyndall, is your background dance?
Yes, I've done a lot of dance over the years, and musical theatre. And this is my first panto, though, so first time I've ever been involved in a panto.
What do you think? What do you think? It's mental, isn't
it's
it?
brilliant. I'm having so much fun. I'm learning a lot from the directors, from my castmates, and I'm having such a ball.
It's a completely different way of doing stuff, though, isn't it? You know, what I really love about panto is, A, you're breaking the fourth wall, and then also, if something goes wrong, everyone loves it even more.
We had this exact conversation just the other night because I am sort of known at the theatre by those who know me for being something of a paraphraser. I think the term I said the other day was that the script is merely a guideline. But you know, that really comes to bear, I think, more so in something like a panto. You can absolutely go off piste a little bit, improvise as the mood and the moment takes you, and you know, where if you're doing Shakespeare, you have to be slavishly adhering to the words quite rightly because they're wonderfh
So you've never done Shakespeare?
That's why I don't do Shakespeare anymore, that's for sure. And
this would be the very abridged.
But you know, with the panto, you've got that kind of confidence in your back pocket that if things do go wrong, well, it doesn't really matter. And in fact, actually, you can 100% involve the audience in the fact that it's gone wrong, and they'll love that.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like seeing that sort of peek behind the curtain of, you know, we're in on the joke here, that it's all gone a little bit pear-shaped?
I know. It's I've done panto before where I've completely forgotten my lines and just gone, hold on, went off, got the script, had a bit of look, handed it back and carried on.
Oh, that's genius. Let's
You,
do that.
You're very well. Have a go with that. That's yours. That's my gift to you.
That will literally be in my back pocket.
Why not? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, if you do it with confidence, then, you know, people just want to come along with you, don't they?
Absolutely. Well, I hope so. That's why it's fun playing baddies.
I love playing the baddie. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, God, you can really play with it there, can't you? You just have so much fun being the baddie.
Absolutely. Particularly when we're not very bright baddies, which is the best, because we're basically just a bit stupid and gormless. Right, don't say anything.
Alternative
Well, exactly. Because also the good characters can get a bit saccharine, can't they? Which is nice, but, you know.
Although our lovely fairy Bobells, I have to say, is genius. She's absolutely brilliant. I mean, she looks just like a fairy Bobells, doesn't she?
Oh, is your costume department pulled out all the stops again?
Oh, she has, absolutely. They're on it as I speak, doing Fairy Bobells costumes.
So in addition to all the sort of, you know, original script and brand new original songs and choreography, we also have a wonderful costume department of sorts.
Costumier, I think we're calling it now. Yes.
Making stuff, you know, fresh and special and new just for this show.
Wow.
Yeah, I think when I was talking about Midsummer Night's Dream, when I was talking about that, and Amanda has come back on board to do this as well, which is amazing because
Yeah, the costumes for that were brilliant. You know, they just the little kind of nods and how you guys were so. Obviously, there was a small cast, but playing a lot of parts, and how you were able to just. So we've gone off topic, haven't we? But we need to say
but
this.
Amanda's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes, and so she's back on board doing this, which we're very, very grateful. Although I fear that we're going to be roped in. I think we're making felt cupcakes. Don't ask why. You'll find out, dear listener. You'll find out.
Is this relevant to the Panto, or is this
absolutely? Just Christmas gifts, yeah.
She's just using the Panto as her own personal sweatshop.
Well, exactly. Excellent. That's Christmas done.
That's a really good idea. Note to self.
Exactly. Now, when is this going up? We obviously know it's going to be at the Putney Arts Theatre, isn't it? You haven't gone to the Palladium this year.
Well, give us time. Give us time. It's from the 6th to the 14th of January.
Oh.
I know, we've gone a bit off piece and we're doing it in the new year as opposed to doing it in December.
Well, that's fine, but how are you going to keep up the energy after, all the mince pies?
Well, there's going to be a rigorous Zoom regime, obviously, on Christmas Day, have I not told you? Yeah? But all be tap dancing, learning our choreography. Yeah, good luck with that. I think, yes.
Well, we managed it this year.
Oh,
because we did Alice in Wonderland in January this year.
Yes, you did.
I mean, that was slightly enforced by COVID necessities, but
yes.
But we sort of, took the success, I think, that actually was snatched from the jaws of defeat of Alice in Wonderland taking place in January this year. Well, and also, pantos do tend to go into January.
Yeah, they do.
We're just going quirky and not starting before Christmas.
Yeah. But there's loads that kind of go on until February and
exactly.
stuff, and then there's some companies that go all year.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's insane.
Yes.
I'm just going to say that.
We're not doing that.
No.
6th to the 14th of
Limited
January.
run, so make sure you get a ticket.
Yes, exactly. And people can get tickets off the website, can't they?
www.putneytheatre.org.uk. I love the fact that I almost forgot that. And also via Insta and Twitter, and we are now on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. I know, just search under Putney Theatre Company and you'll find us.
And if you don't know
Facebook.
Kat, she is obviously the archetypal TikToker.
You met me. Yeah.
I can't think. I always find TikTok just so. It's great fun, but I'm not sure if anyone would really appreciate if I suddenly appeared on it doing a dance.
That's why I'm very, very grateful we have younger members in our cast who genuinely like doing these things, and I'm very happy to hand over the reins to them.
How big is your cast this year?
13. Then we've obviously got our live musicians on top of that.
Ah, wow.
So we've got quite a large ensemble. So they play, country folk, and they play the businessmen, and they also play rats and the...
But these are the musicians on stage? They
will be on stage, but they're not playing characters. God bless them. Can you imagine? That would be intense and
that would
very
be intense.
impressive.
Yeah.
No, but just ensemble. In fact, I think that the ensemble have more to do than anybody else.
Yes.
They sing all the songs and all the dances, have all the costumes. And really, we probably got about 5 lines between us, haven't we? But what lines? What lines? Have you counted?
What lines?
Exactly. How many people? How many do we have?
I think it is 13 speaking parts, you're right.
And then also, we have 3 matinees, I should mention that.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so from the 6th...
Time travel in this.
Plus the 7th, 8th and the 14th are matinees as well.
So that's a Saturday, Sunday and Saturday.
Brilliant.
Correct. So plenty of opportunities to come and see us.
That's a good run.
If you come to one of those matinees, and I'm not quite sure which one is yet to be decided, there's a very good chance that you'll hear my daughter shouting out, "Daddy! Daddy, what are you doing? Daddy!"
Oh, I would pay good money to see that, personally speaking.
Oh, that's really
sweet.
Who you? That's the question.
Well, apparently she's not a big fan of the bad guys in the stuff that she's watching on TV at the moment. She's tending to ask to be fast-forwarded through the bad guy moments, so it could be really interesting. You get a very, very unique one-off performance if you come on one of those matinees.
Oh, no, she'll have to come on stage with us.
There's a good chance that she will just through her own volition.
She's not your daughter at all, is she?
Yeah, this apple hasn't fallen far from that tree, has it?
She has already been on stage. She was on stage before she was even born.
Oh, yes, she was, wasn't she? Yes.
She was in The Importance of Being Earnest. From Within.
Fetally on stage.
I hope you tell her that, on her 18th birthday.
Well, there is so much stuff being lined up for her 18th birthday. This is going really off topic.
Yeah, let's go.
Who doesn't like talking about children? No, this is great. Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
This is a real Putney Theatre Company production. Do share the podcast with your friends and take a look at our website, searching online for the Putney Theatre Company. So that's it for now. See you next time.